You may remember yesterday we did the story of the raids that occurred on St. Croix, and of course we have not received any information from the federal and local authorities about that raid. We are keeping you informed as information comes in to us. All that we do know is that it has been 24 hours since that raid. What was confiscated were illegal knives and some DVDs. And in other news tonight, we've all been wondering what's happening in the Senate hearings. We go there now with News Channel 8's Lee Carr.
Budget and Appropriations Committee chaired by Senator Carlton Hartel-Dow has been dealing with a number of agencies. There was education, police, and now this one took place yesterday. They are talking about a 5% less budget for fiscal year 09 for the Finance Department. The department is also set to receive another $3,048,066 from other funds. However, they squeezed out departmental savings, and in addition to the general fund, their budget is supplemented through the government. The Department of Finance, of course, headed by Angel Dawson, says that they're taking care of the situation as it stands. Here is some of the comments.
We said in Exhibit, I think it was 8, that after you'd done some reconciliation, your projected cash balance was at $21 million, right?
Oh, that report, yes.
Now, clearly that is very disturbing, to say the least. What is the past experience, for instance, in the last few years, when the Dion administration, for instance, took over the government? Where were our cash balances in comparison to where it is today? I want the public to understand that we weren't and haven't been operating at a $21 million cash balance. This is a very recent occurrence that does not bode well for the future. So where were we in terms, let's say, when the Dion administration took over the government?
The available cash resources that we have, once again, that is after deduction for all the expenses that we're projecting we're going to have. And in fact, we do have some restrictions on some accounts. So that's not the gross figure, but the what we consider the available.
We had in excess of $100 million.
Okay.
Yes.
And there are some of us who would surmise that you probably had more than $100 million,
right.
But I won't get into that argument with you, because the point I want to make is that the fact that we are down to the point of $21 million of cash balances in the government's accounts is a significant statistic that reflects the fact that revenues are significantly down and our expenditures are essentially staying the same. And if we are not very careful, we could find ourselves in a position where there is no money in the bank to pay the expenditures and to pay the salaries of employees.
I just had the privilege to sign bill number 28-0089. And let me tell you, it was indeed a privilege. And hopefully the governor's staff is listening to this. We are sending this bill as fast as possible to the governor's house. So, Mr. Dawson, you make sure that this bill gets in the right hand.
Would you like to give it to me?
Hey, whatever it takes. I'm extremely excited about this, because some of the projects that is included in this is police substations for the Cotton Valley area in St. Croix and the North Shore area in St. Croix. Not only that, hopefully, once this bill is signed, we will be able to fix the track at Central High, for the track and field team. I mean, it's unbelievable, all the great things that we're going to accomplish for both islands. I'm talking about St. Croix because, you know, hey, all three islands. I apologize. I do apologize. You know, one of the things that I'm also excited too is the fact that we are going to get truck ladder trucks. I believe that's the right term for our firefighters. These ladders will be able to reach certain heights, and I am very excited about that. So relay that information to the governor.
We know what payroll is, some $22 million. On May 5th, you had a cash balance of some $205 million. Last year, by the time I was chair up until after elections, you had some $300-something million in cash balance. We've collected money. Yes, we spent money, but we've also collected money. What happened where we spent? I want to compare it for me. What we took in and what we spent out. You can tell me from as of October 1st what we took in revenues and what we spent. Give me totals so I can see how we got all the way down to 21, because this is astonishing. Because some of these monies, by the way, I just have to tell you, some of these monies, every time I've questioned this, some of these monies, they would always say, you know, prior obligation, we can't touch it. And there was some close to $400 million when we first started having this conversation. So obviously the money was touched. I guess prior obligations went out the door and people are making up their own obligations now. But tell me, total revenues collected, you can go, just give me whatever starting point, whether October, December, then January. But we know as of May, it was $205.
Senator, I
$205
appreciate
million.
Sure. I appreciate your question. And before I answered the latest question on that same issue, since it came up previously in this very meeting today, I took great lengths to explain that those are available cash resources. That
Just saying, just as we wrap up, and sometimes you take a beating, but if there's one thing currently that I felt strongly about, and you, Mr. President, prior to even being any president, this measure, we spend a lot of time back and forth with Mr. And publicly, as we say this, we must also recognize, well, certainly those colleagues who joined with us, but meetings day and night when people gone home, running, meeting with Mr. Nathan Simmons, going through all kind of stuff. I mean, how we could tweak it, what we could do, just to make sure that we keep this government afloat.
Stay with us on News Channel 8. We have more news after the break.